that they would prioritize making life more affordable for their constituents. But instead, they want to quadruple the size of ICE, they want to build a ballroom, and they want to provide compensation for the people that stormed this Capitol and beat up cops. And so don't let anybody tell you there's not enough money in the United States of America. What they are telling you is that there is enough money for a ballroom. There is enough money to pay off their friends and violent insurrectionists. There is enough money to quadruple the size of ICE. There's enough money to start multiple regime change wars. What they are telling you is that there's not enough money for you.
Senator Blunt, Rochester.
Thank you, Chuck. You know, today in this very present moment, this is actually a victory for the American people. When we go home to our states, we are hearing from people up and down in Delaware, up and down the state. I had a family reach out to us and say that we are no longer able to pay our bills. We're using a line of credit on our mortgage to pay our bills. We're not eating. This woman was 60 years old who wrote to us, and she said, she ended it by saying, I'm a Republican. Everybody is hurting across this country, and what this administration is doing is showing us what their priorities are. Their priorities are a gold-plated ballroom. Their priorities are a new reflecting pool, which we hope is not painted with the face of Donald Trump at the bottom. They're showing us that their priorities are building detention centers. In the 250th anniversary of this country, this is not the direction that we should be going. People are hurting, and this administration is acting as if the American people are their ATM. And so we stand here today to say, we're glad that this happened today, that it was stopped, it was stalled, but we know this is not the end. This is the same group that last year brought you one big beautiful bill that gave money to ICE and CBP, but cut your health care. And so we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to stand up for the American people. And as my colleague said, we hope that this is a new day for Republicans in Congress, that we take our power back, because our power stems from the people. So I just want to thank Chuck for giving us this opportunity, but just tell the American people to stay tuned. We know this is not the end of the battle.
Questions? Yes.
You mentioned you hope Republicans stop backing the slush fund. Is it anybody's understanding that any of your colleagues, any Republicans, are actually backing that thing?
The whole fight that they've had today is about bowing down to Donald Trump and doing what the American people don't want them to do, whether it's the ballroom or the slush fund, or siding with the American people. And the bottom line is that too many of them are siding with Trump. They're either afraid of Trump, look what happened this week, or they are blind, so blind that they don't see that it's costs, costs, costs that's making the American people angry and frustrated. And frankly, we're angry and frustrated that Republicans don't join us. We want to help people feed themselves. We want to help people be able to go to work and pay for that tank of gas. We want to help first-time home buyers afford a mortgage. And they're busy fighting amongst themselves on something the American people don't care about.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. When you all return, the FISA deadline will be, I think, June 12th. Are you concerned that because they didn't handle this before Memorial Day, that this will impact a must-pass piece of legislation?
Look, the FISA needs reform. I think almost all of our caucus feels it needs reform, and we're willing to work with the Republicans to get that reform. I don't think they know where they're at. Yes.
Senator Schumer, sort of up until now, the main Democratic electoral message has been affordability, the cost of talk a lot more about corruption going into the fall.
Look,
Because you've got now this fund.
here's the link. Corruption often leads to the high prices. Donald Trump sided with the big oil and gas industries and cut off the cheapest way to get power on the grid. Donald Trump, listening to a few big industry people, put in the tariffs that raised the costs. The two are tied together. Our goal is to get the costs lower, but the corruption in this administration pushes them to do the opposite.
Leader Schumer,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah. Can you talk for a moment about what some of these amendments would have looked like? When I talked to Republican senators, they all said in this vote-a-rama, had it happened, they said you guys would have had certain votes that would have put them in tough spots based on the compensation fund. Can you characterize, describe what?
No, I'm not going to get into the specific
Well,
amendments,
that was the whole threat.
but we were going to, we made clear that we felt that this corruption was so vile that we were going to do everything we can in reconciliation to try to get it undone. And that is the case. It will, if they come back and keep these things in their bill, we'll keep that fight, but we'll also be reminding people over and over again on the costs of living, the affordability issue, which is number one and always has been number one for us. And the reason we hate this stuff so badly is not just its innate corruption, which turns your stomach, but because it stands in the way of us doing what the American people want, what we were sent here to do. Get down those prices. Yes.
Possible drone zone of United States troops in Europe, how that might influence European security, specifically the Baltic states, while Russia is continuing.
Look, the bottom line is that this war in Iran has no, he still hasn't said what the goal is. He still hasn't said how much it's going to cost. He still hasn't said how long it's going to last and how he's going to pay for it. And so, yes, this war undermines all the other things that we think need to be done. Yes.
Mr. Leader, just to clarify, I mean, beyond possible amendments, is there anything that Senate Democrats plan to do legislatively to block this anti-weaponization fund? And separately, do you agree with the findings of this new DNC autopsy report?
Well, look, we'll do everything we can to stop this slush fund, whether it's in the courts, whether it's legislative, whether it's through reconciliation or any other legislative means. As for the second, I haven't seen the report yet. I've been kind of busy today. Last one.
What is your opinion on the lifting sanction on Russian oil? And there are a lot
I think Trump has been far too cozy with Putin and not strong enough for Ukraine. One of the things we'd like to do is impose those sanctions on Russia, which still the Republicans aren't ready to go forward with. Thank you, everybody.